What's up, everybody listening on their radios? This is Sports, Politics, and More. I am your host, Andrew Pollack, joined as always by the wonderful Frank Todaro. Frank, are you there?
Yes, Andrew, we made it another week.
Yeah, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I'm still getting used to this theme song. At least this week I rehearsed my cue because I've been listening to it so many times. But yes,
Really?
I'm doing my cue this week.
What do you mean you've been listening to it so many times? What are you playing it in your headphones every day?
Because I'm trying to notice my cue.
Why don't you just time it?
That's what I've been thinking of doing.
It starts at 8:01 and 37 seconds.
Oh, okay.
Don't you watch the YouTube video?
Well, I'm going to.
Anyway, how are you, Andrew?
Well, I can't complain. I just wish that it wasn't less humid because I actually want humidity for a reason.
You like dehumidity?
Because it's comfortable swimming pool weather.
Oh, okay. But how does that help in your house?
Oh, in my house, I don't have a pool. I wish I did.
Oh, all right. Anyway, so as we were telling the audience last week, Andrew, your big August surprise, and now Andrew's been telling me about this for a couple weeks now, and August surprise. That's like what they do in the elections when they say they have an October surprise. Like last year's presidential election, there's a big bombshell, towards the end to sway the votes. So, and now all along I was thinking, because Andrew, we're in New York City, and we have a big mayoral race this year in November, and Andrew has been somewhat very almost obsessed, right? He's been bordering obsessed about.
I'm sorry. I'm really nervous about this election.
No. Listen, Andrew's right. I'm mayor in New York City. Bill De Blasio. He's trash. Basically, he's trash.
And so is the Republican they're throwing at us.
Whoever it is, it's bad. We've been lucky for the last few years, for the last few decades. New York City's had a good run with mayors, with Rudy Giuliani in the 90s, and then Bloomberg took over. Mike Bloomberg took over. But now Bill De Blasio, he's becoming he became just like many politicians across the country, an activist. He's a social. He wants to be a social activist instead of being a politician, which is to care about all the people instead of certain people. Anyway, he's really trash. The police don't like him. A few weeks ago, was it a month ago? A cop was gunned down in cold blood, and
yes, Officer Familia, I remember that.
And De Blasio, instead of staying in New York City to attend the funeral, he decided to go to Germany to protest Trump and the United States for whatever reason, for whatever garbage reason. Anyway. So getting back to this August surprise, so at first I figured maybe Andrew was going to unleash something. He was going to announce that he was part of the opposition to De Blasio. Who's your candidate that you like?
Right now, I am supporting Bo Dietl.
All right. I honestly, I have to admit, I really don't know too much about this. I haven't even been following the mayor's race too much. But this guy.
What?
Yeah,
this is a very important race.
No,
what are you talking about?
It's like in the NBA. You don't get into the NBA season until like Christmas time. So this guy Bo, he looks like an average guy. He doesn't have
average.
Yeah, what has he done before? What has he done? This guy.
He used to be a police detective.
Oh wow! Oh, police detective. Okay, yeah, but then a police detective and running the city as mayor. Anyway, he looks like a normal guy. He just looks. He just looks like an average Joe. He doesn't have that politician's look. But anyway, so forget this. So I thought Andrew was going to say, oh, he's joining his campaign, or he's volunteering for Bo. How do you pronounce his name?
Bo Dietl.
Deedle. See, you can't even pronounce his name, so automatically he's not going to win because you can't pronounce his name. Anyway, so I thought he was going to announce this big surprise that he's joining the campaign, but no. Andrew, tell him what your surprise was, real quick.
All right. The surprise was it's a small studio in Ocean City, Maryland. There, I got it out.
All right. So you live in Queens, and what's this surprise that you're moving to Maryland?
No, this is a second studio.
Oh, okay. So you have a.
That's what it is. Like, do you know how Rush Limbaugh has a studio in New York and he has one in Florida?
Yeah, but you don't have a studio. You have a room.
That's what it is. I'm trying to say that.
Right. Okay. So whatever. I guess Andrew's parents got a hold of a second apartment in where's Maryland. So I kept explaining to Andrew I kept explaining to him, even if you announce this on the air, how is the audience? What does the audience care?
I've been telling you last minute to drop the subject.
I know. But
listen to me.
Listen, I gotta show the audience what I'm dealing with, and I gotta be. Hey, do you have any brothers?
I have no siblings, sadly.
Okay, all right. Listen, I'm your big brother. I'm your radio big brother. All right. So I have to guide you through life because Andrew's kind of young. He's still a young man. You know. So I got to teach him. I got to teach him the ways. And then here's the big blunder. Okay, even if it was a surprise, can you imagine if it was a big surprise? Do you know what Andrew does he goes on his YouTube channel a couple of days ago and he announces the big surprise. If it was really a big surprise, I would have went nuts. I would have erupted. Why would you do that?
Because you know how bad my internet is.
No, why? But listen. If you're gonna announce a big surprise, now listen. You gotta going forward. Now you have the YouTube channel. Andrew has a pretty decent upstart YouTube channel. He's got close to 500 subscribers.
In fact, today I uploaded a video of Teddy Dog.
Okay, but Teddy Dog. All right, one thing at a time. So Andrew's YouTube channel, he's got 500 subscribers. It's not it's an upstart channel. He's got a lot more than me. I don't know how that happens, but he announces this August blunder, August dud on his YouTube channel. So Andrew, in the future, you can't do that. Now you are co-host of Spam. You should tell your subscribers to tune in to Spam at 8:00 on Wednesdays and find out what the surprise is then. You understand?
I'm sorry, I couldn't help it.
He couldn't help it. All right. But do you understand what I'm saying? In the future, if you're going to do that, you got to build up the suspense and you got to draw the subscribers to the show.
I have attention deficit disorder. I can't help it.
You got a lot more than that. What, really? Have you been diagnosed with attention deficit disorder?
Yes.
Do you take medication for it?
Sadly, no.
No? Oh, I've seen. If you would have said yes, I would have explained a lot. But anyway, we got a pretty big show coming up. We are in the middle of the show. There's a lot of news going on, and I always every week leading up to the show, I always kick myself. I'm like, I should prepare and put the show together a few days before. But no, because the news changes so much from day to day.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. The news changes from day to day. It's like if I prepare and I put together the show on Monday or even Tuesday afternoon or evening, by today it's everything's irrelevant. Like the last 2 days, the big story was the big deep state coup against Trump, and they were saying, I think it was Michael Savage. He was saying, if Trump is removed from office, there's going to be a civil war.
I think there will be a civil war.
Oh, there's definitely going to be some shit, and it's not going to be no weak snowflake, preppy.
I'm sorry. If Trump somehow leaves the White House and Mike Pence literally becomes the president, do you know how many angry homosexuals there's going to be in America?
Forget that.
They're going to revolt.
Forget that. Listen. and there was an article also. A former Navy SEAL. He wrote an article. I forgot his name. He wrote an article that if Trump was removed, there was going to be bloodshed and massacre, and he was just hinting that, and of course nobody advocates violence, but
I don't advocate violence.
No, he was trying to say that he himself, military men, Navy SEALs, Marines, whoever, they're sworn to protect the Constitution against foreign enemies and domestic. And a coup is a domestic enemy, a wrongful taking Trump out of office with this bogus shit. I don't know what they're doing now. Mueller is throwing indictments at Trump's family.
But I'm going to be honest. I'll be angry if Trump is removed from office the wrong way.
But there is nothing for him to be removed for. He's done nothing wrong. Again, we got to go through this again. Everybody's
it's all up to the voters in 2020, and it depends if they want a liberal communist in office.
You want to talk about ADD? Half the people in America have ADD. They forget already. James Comey already testified. Trump is not under investigation. He was never under investigation. He's done nothing wrong, so there's no reason to remove him. And now,
to be honest, I think CNN has ADD.
Yeah. You want to talk about collusion? CNN colluded last year with the Democrats, the DNC and Hillary, when they were caught with Donna Brazile was caught colluding with CNN to give those people in the audience the debate questions. They were getting debate questions. That's colluding. That's unfair.
And you want to know what's bad about CNN? Have you ever heard of Mark Dice by any chance?
Of course I've heard of Mark Dice.
There's like 3 videos he did exposing how awful CNN is.
Yeah. Mark Dice is pretty funny, and he's successful because he just puts out the truth. But anyway, yeah. So this guy was saying, this former Navy SEAL was saying that the military, and believe me, the military and a lot of the law enforcement in this country, they have Trump's back.
Exactly.
Right. And anything that happens would really be catastrophic. And even assassination attempts, which I hope that, God forbid, there's going to be hell to pay, because it's not 1960.
You want to know a story about my dad getting worried about Trump regarding assassinations?
What?
Okay, so this was Inauguration Day. And if you remember, or anybody else does, usually when a new president gets sworn in, they walk in Washington, D.C., and they wave to the people. So me and my dad were watching the inauguration way back in January. You know what my dad was yelling at the TV?
What?
Get the hell out of there and get into the limo already.
No. Yeah, there was a famous scene where Trump and his wife, the First Lady Melania Trump, they're walking in the streets. And there was you can see the Secret Service walking with them. He was advised to not walk, but he doesn't care. Listen, Trump he's got brass balls.
Of course he does.
Anyway, but now there's a lot going on. Like I said, just 2 days ago, that was the big story. And now, of course, the big story last night and today is with North Korea acting up again. And we'll talk about that more at 8:30 on the news. We got there's a lot of news going on tonight. Great, we got a few good stories. I'm glad. But it's North Korea now is acting up, and if you've heard the show for the last few weeks, or every week, it almost seems I have to. When North Korea comes up,
we have to mention them. It gets annoying.
Listen, North Korea, this country is one of the poorest countries in the world. I think I read a statistic last week. They out of 230 countries, known countries and recognized countries in the world, North Korea is number 213 out of 30 as far as poverty level, and they're a pretty big country. Again, I say it jokingly that the people eat crickets and grasshoppers and water bugs and rats. It's true. And if you go on YouTube and you watch videos from North Korea where they have the grasslands, nothing moves. There's no birds. There's no animals. It's like nothing. It's still.
It's crazy in North Korea.
Yeah, the only people that eat over there is Kim Jong-un, his circle, the army, of course, the military, and a few of the elites over there, and everybody else is bad. And I don't know where they
You
have
mean
the money.
those people in North Korea that lift their feet up every time they have a rally?
Well, yeah, the army when they goose step in the streets, and I joked last week that when you see those big demonstrations with the military and they have those big huge missiles on those truck beds, there was a rumor that those missiles are actually made out of wood. This is my thing. We'll talk about it more. I think North Korea. It's
You
this
mean
whole
those
thing.
supposed intercontinental ballistic missiles?
Yeah. They keep showing the same footage of the same missile being launched. It's all propaganda. North Korea.
I hope it is. They said the same thing about the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Yeah. Well, that was real. But in North Korea, they have one news program. The same anchor woman has been doing the news for the last 25 years. It's only her.
Man, that would annoy me.
Yeah, it's only one person. She is the official state propaganda advisor. We'll talk about that more. But Trump's got bigger problems, I think, from home. And I on my Twitter this morning, I saw this video. They showed these guys from the hood, and it looked like a bad rap video. And I could have sworn a few weeks ago I talked about this with Otto, aka Mike from Primer Time on UCY, about all these gangsters. They made a video about guns and showing they were threatening Trump, that Trump was going to take away their mama's food stamps, and people in the hood.
Food stamps.
Yeah, people in the hood love them Fruity Pebbles or Fruit Loops. And it came up again.
Okay. For anybody who is in poverty and has to rely on an EBT card, Trump's not taking it away. Give me a break.
Yeah. All right, hold on a minute. We're gonna actually get some audio. Hold on.
This a C cup, I got 100 on the cut. All these fucking drums, all we know is red rum.
Okay, so you see the video starts off. The video starts off. It's like a rap video. There's got this ridiculous looking guy. He looks like he came out of a rap video. He's got a red bandana on his head, and he's got his posse or his homies. And posse is not a racist word.
It's not really that racist if you use it in the right term.
No, Andrew, you're part of my posse. You're my posse.
Exactly.
Posse is when you're surrounded by someone with the same interests. Your inner circle. That's what it is. Anyway, so they're all waving these machine guns and Uzis, and they got 100 rounds of the clip. So hold on.
God, Otto is not on the air.
Yeah. So hold on. So he starts off rapping. Hold on. Yeah, homie.
Yo, shut up already. Trump's not taking your EBT stamps.
All right, so that it's like they reminded me of a tribe that's getting ready for war. All they need is some war paint on the face.
I can't with these morons. Okay,
yeah. I know. World. And listen, I'm pretty sure that this video is from February. But anyway, they're threatening him, and they're posturing, and they're showing their force. They have guns, Okay, and Trump should be afraid. Hold on. Yeah, let's go to war.
Go to war with who?
Got motherfucking 100 round shit, take the fucking government to war, take the army to war, take the brave team to war.
No.
But I really want to go to war with Donald Trump, because Donald Trump trying to take food stamps from my mom, and that's all the fuck she got. Bitch ass nigga, so you niggas better stay.
No, he won't.
Let us keep food stamps in Sherwood. We gonna be good. But the first time this nigga passed a law talking about he taking Louisiana Purchase, shit gonna get ugly. I swear to God, on every motherfucking chain I got.
Okay, stop.
Hold on. Let him play.
I'm talking about all the way down, nigga. I'm talking about that mean no more barbecues. That mean no more nothing.
No more
You gotta
barbecues.
understand, baby, them children love Fruit Loops. They love that shit.
And then watch, he's gonna pledge allegiance to ISIS.
And the nigga ain't gonna play about that. So y'all, what y'all need to do is tag Donald Trump and let him know.
Tag Donald Trump. Yeah.
We won't war. We gonna declare war. And I ain't worried about ISIS because they just called me. They want me to fuck with them now.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. We got them drums, bitch, and grenades, but I'm scared to throw them.
All right. So yeah, there you go. So I'm pretty sure that's the same video from February.
Okay. Calm down. First of all, not you, the moron. He's a moron. Okay, they said the same thing when George W. Bush was the president.
I know.
George Bush is going to take away my EBT card.
I know.
He's going to take away my welfare. He's going to take away my SSI. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, but that's how ridiculous it is. Here's this guy. He's a kid. He's probably early 20s tops. Maybe he's probably a teenager. Obviously, he's got all these kids have no shot in life. And he's declared war on Trump because Trump's got, as he's saying, as long as his mama keeps getting his food stamps and the Fruity Loops, everything is okay. But of course, he's bragging about his chains. He's saying, everybody's hating on him because he's a young black man with gold chains. If you're a real gangster, you shouldn't have your mama on food stamps. You should be providing for your mama. Okay, number one, and number two, and I think, like I said, this video is pretty old. I think it's from February or March. What's so funny is, within days, the SWAT this whole team, this whole gang got SWAT teamed. The SWAT team came in and arrested all of them. The police, the law enforcement, I think this is from Louisiana, they were able to zoom in on the home address because they filmed this in front of their house.
Which is so moronic anyway.
Yeah, of course. Listen, look who you're dealing with. They barely have a grasp on the English language. Again, and no, it's not racist. It's not white privilege. To say that would be a spit in the face for any person from this area, from this hood, that actually goes out and gets an education and becomes a success in life. Okay.
My concern is that man have a high school diploma. That's my concern.
High school diploma, Andrew. They're probably these are probably junior high school dropouts.
Oh God, that's even worse.
Yeah, come on. You think these kids actually go to high school?
If you're running for unrelated, but if you're running for a public office, at least have a high school diploma.
Andrew, but who's running for a public office? These gangsters?
All right, back on topic. Yeah, what I'm trying to say here is that, right, there we go. What I'm trying to say here is this: they are in their dreamland. Okay, they don't understand that Donald Trump has way more bigger problems.
You're cutting out. You're cutting out.
Am I good again?
Yeah. What do we talk about, Andrew, on the air? Off the.
This better?
Yes.
Because I'm getting annoyed at these idiots.
Andrew, I don't want the audience to miss a syllable of what you say.
Oh, okay. Let me say it again. What I'm trying to say here is that Donald Trump could care less if he takes away your SSI, if he takes away your EBT, and he
closer to the mic.
I'm trying to say is this: Donald Trump doesn't care if he takes away your SSI or your EBT or your welfare. He could care less about that.
Yeah, well, it's not Donald Trump taking away his food stamps. It's food stamps a local city and state. But anyway, just real quick, it was an old video. This is what you're dealing with here. The law enforcement raided these guys because they were able to zoom in on the home address. Half these guys had warrants. Andrew, when you were on vacation, when Michael was guest hosting a fill-in interview, he said, "How come these guys get arrested? And Kathy Griffin, who holds up Trump's fake severed head, just gets visited by the Secret Service." Well, there's your answer. These guys are showing a display of force, a real force. The Secret Service considers them a real threat, but it wasn't even the Secret Service. It was the local law enforcement. And they have warrants. So Kathy Griffin doesn't have a warrant. Kathy Griffin is a D celebrity. she ain't gonna she's not gonna do anything to the president. But Michael, aka Otto, his argument was that Kathy Griffin has more of a following. Yes and no, because
I disagree.
yeah, yes and no, because with social media, you know how many people will see this video, how many kids will see this video and follow this guy's rhetoric. But anyway, this is what we're dealing with, man. It's sad.
It's plain idiocracy, because eventually all the Democrats are going to do in 2020 is give us this repeat cycle. Give us another liberal communist so that way we can vote for Trump again.
Right. Yeah. And the Democrats now, their new slogan is a better deal. A better deal from what?
Better deal for what? You're not going to give us anybody better than Donald Trump.
No, they mean a better deal. Now see that now their strategy is they're gonna try and go the route.
Problem. They're going to put us in another recession.
Yes. No, they're trying to see, because they know that Trump's success was appealing to the working man, so they're going to try to do the same. But everybody knows, and most people know, that the Democrats are all talk. They always are all talk. They don't care about the poor, the poor people in America, the poor people in the inner cities. They just care about their votes, and then they only care about them during election time, and then they forget about them. But anyway,
you know why I'm getting smarter about this whole positivity about the economy? It's because I've been reading underground conservative sites lately, and they're making a lot more sense than these stupid lame media outlets.
Yeah, but it's smart to be well rounded. Don't just read conservative. Read everything. You have to read and listen to the other side too. Listen to what the opposition is saying. So you could
opposition. They don't care about the economy.
Yeah, I know they don't. They only care about the Democrats. I'm sorry, right now they are socialists who love. It's throughout history they love for the majority to be on welfare and to be down and that's it.
I'm sorry. Sorry.
That's
a whole different discussion to have another day. I'm sorry.
Andrew, is your mic? Are you ready for your microphone? Are you gonna give us a good reading of the news?
Well, do we have to bring up the North Korea story again?
Of course, we have to bring up the North Korea story. So, go ahead, Andy. It's 8:29. We'll start a little early. Andy reads the news.
All right. Andy reads the news, sponsored by TuneIn Radio. TuneIn with over 100,000 plus radio stations featuring music, talk radio, news, and including our station, UCY.TV. Download the app available on the Apple App Store and Google Play. North Korea threatens preemptive strike on Guam as tensions rise. This is the story that's been all over the news today. If you've been either watching a different news source other than CNN. Okay. North Korea says it's carefully examining plans for launching a preemptive strike against Guam, hours after the Trump administration warned the rogue nation to drop its threats against the United States or face, and I quote, fire and fury.
Yes. Hold on. I actually have...
Get the clip?
Yes.
Please play it.
Hold on, I got it.
Hey, come on.
They will be met with fire and fury.
Yeah.
The world has never seen.
Yeah.
He has been very threatening.
Yes.
Beyond a normal state. And as I said, they will be met with fire, fury, and frankly power, the likes of which this world has never seen before.
Yeah, Trump's going to beat Kim Jong-un with a shoe.
President Trump made those comments yesterday at a quick press briefing at his golf resort in Bedminster, New Jersey. A statement from a spokesman for the Strategic Force of the Korean People's Army said it's studying to plan a creative... Let me read this again. A statement from a spokesman for the Strategic Force of the Korean People's Army said it is studying a plan to create an enveloping fire around the U.S. territory.
Enveloping fire.
Enveloping fire, my bad. Around the U.S. territory, home to the Anderson Air Force
Andrew,
Base.
where did you graduate?
A private school.
Okay, continue.
I'm sorry, big words confuse me.
Okay, it's okay. Go ahead, continue.
I dropped out of college.
All right, we can see. Go ahead. Well, go ahead. Read the article, Andrew.
But I'm not as bad as Kanye West. Anyhow, North Korea also warned that recent U.S. military maneuvers, including an intercontinental ballistic missile test last week and a bomber flight on Monday, may provoke a dangerous conflict. The threat came in the wake of strong words from President Trump, who warned North Korea on Tuesday that, I'm quoting it again, it would face fire and fury if it provokes the United States. The rising tensions with North Korea have spurred Hawaii to start preparing for the threat, however low, of a nuclear strike to the islands. Last month, the Hawaiian Emergency Management Agency kicked off an educational campaign aimed at helping residents and visitors figure out what to do if the state is the target of a nuclear missile attack from North Korea. As part of the new campaign, the state will also test a new wailing emergency siren on the first workday of every month. It would take 20 minutes for an intercontinental ballistic missile to travel to Hawaii from North Korea. As some experts say, the country appears now to have the capability to launch such a nuclear strike. The public would have 8 to 12 minutes of notice before the attack started.
Yeah. Listen, this is like I was going to say before. This is all a propaganda war. There's nothing's going to happen. There is going to be nothing. Nothing's going to happen. It's a propaganda war. Trump's got to respond to Kim Jong-un because Kim Jong-un is, if Trump doesn't respond.
Well, wait a second here. He has the nuclear codes. He can fire it right now if he wants to.
Oh, Trump?
Yes.
Yeah, I know that. But I'm saying Kim Jong-un is not going to do anything. It would be suicide for him to do anything. He would be wiped out in less than 24 hours. We took out Saddam Hussein, Iraq, in less than 24 hours. It would be suicide as well. This is what I think, and I think I'm pretty right. Kim Jong-un, he's just he's trying to extort the United States, China, and other countries for money to keep up his lavish lifestyle. Okay, that's all he wants. He wants a little money. He wants money. He wants a few things. He wants a few toys, and this is how he goes about doing it because he's a petulant child. Nothing's going to happen. North Korea doesn't even have army tanks. They have no money. Go ahead.
I'm going to continue to read because this is going to start an argument. Some in Congress called Trump's heated rhetoric dangerous yesterday and urged the administration to look for diplomatic solutions.
Of course. It's because Trump is a hothead, right? He's a hothead.
But he has the football. Remember that.
Get the football.
I couldn't help making that reference.
All right. Okay, continue, Andrew.
North Korea does not yet have the capability to hit any part of America with a nuclear ICBM, but their technological improvements are alarming and require a multi-pronged response, said Senator Brian Schultz from Hawaii.
Yeah. Hawaii. They're going to have radioactive pineapples. I'm sorry.
Well, all I'm going to say is that we must send our prayers to Hawaii.
Get out of here. Nothing's going to happen. God, continue, Andrew.
That's what I'm just kidding, okay? I know you were going to say that.
I continue.
I love Hawaii. In fact, Elvis shot a lot of movies over there.
Yeah.
Anyhow, we must engage in vigorous diplomacy and beef up our military defenses. The president's statement was unwise in both tone and substance.
Oh yeah. So Kim Jong Un every day could threaten the United States with enveloping fire, but if Trump responds, it's unwise. This is the enemy reveals itself. See, this is what you got. Go ahead, continue.
Do you want to know who said this?
I know who said it. Go ahead, tell the audience who said it.
No, I said, do you want to know? Do you want to know?
Yeah. Tell the audience who said it.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is somebody that I have lost all respect for, and that is Senator John McCain.
Yeah. This is the guy. This guy is a notorious warmonger. John McCain. He's a warmonger. For the last 10 years, all this guy, he's wanted war. He wants war against Russia. That's not rhetoric. That's not unwise in both tone and substance. When he calls out Russia, it's unwise, though, when Trump responds and defends himself and the United States against Kim Jong-un, who's proactively prodding the United States. I don't see Putin launching missiles and making statements that Russia's going to envelop the United States with fire. Didn't this guy have brain cancer?
Do you know why I've lost my I was just going to say, I've lost my respect because all he likes to do is bash.
Yeah. Anything Trump says, they're gonna go against. That's public. See, now that's another thing. That's the public. Behind the closed doors.
I'm sorry. If I was a senator, I would have voted yes on that skinny repeal bill.
Yeah, listen, that's the public.
Unrelated, but I wanted to say that.
Listen, I gotta teach you, and I gotta teach the audience. See, that's the public. That's what we see. That's what the public sees and hears. But behind closed doors, McCain, of course, agrees with Trump. But I want to ask you a question. Didn't McCain, did he have a brain tumor last week?
I actually did see that story while I was in Delaware.
This guy had
every news channel in Delaware was covering it.
Yeah, he came back. He had a 6-inch scar around his eye, and this guy was about to die 2 weeks ago, and all of a sudden now he's back in action. What is that? Is that anyway? All right. So listen, forget this.
I have just lost all my respect for this guy.
Yeah, I'm disgusted with this crap. Listen, nothing's again to close out the North Korea crap. Nothing's gonna happen. It's just a propaganda war. Behind the scenes, it's just this guy Kim Jong-un wants some money. Probably he wants to eat some Big Macs, KFC, and have a fancy car. So anyway,
I could go for Chick-fil-A more often than KFC.
Yeah, maybe we'll get it. Maybe we'll ship him some Chipotle.
A little bit.
Obviously.
Chipotle.
Yeah.
Oh man.
If you see Kim Jong-un, he obviously isn't missing any meals. Anyway, Andrew, you have another story?
Yes, I was just gonna say that I want to switch to another story because I mean it's annoying. I'm sick and tired of talking about it.
Okay, very good.
All right, now that Frank and I have gotten that out of the way, we are going to talk about how Americans have the highest credit card debt in our country's history, and this is not going to go well for people who use credit cards every single day.
Yep.
American consumers just hit a scary and frightening milestone. They now collectively have the most outstanding revolving debt,
Andrew,
often summarized as credit.
Could you read it a little faster?
Oh, okay. In U.S. history, according to a report Monday released by the Federal Reserve, Americans had, this is an alarming number. I'm trying to read it very correctly.
It's over $1 trillion.
Over $1 trillion in outstanding revolving credit just revealed in June of 2017. This beats the previous record that was set back in April of 2008, when consumers had collectively $1.2 trillion in outstanding credit revolving credit.
What they mean by credit revolving credit is that as they're paying, as you pay, you just keep putting money on your credit card. So it's a revolving door.
Well, that's why credit cards are not meant for everybody.
Yes.
We'll have that argument in a sec. This record should serve as a wake-up call to Americans to focus on their credit card debt, said Matt Scholes, a senior industry analyst at creditcards.com. Even if you feel your debt is manageable right now, know that you could be one unexpected emergency away from real trouble.
Yes.
Revolving credit has been growing to an annual growth rate of 4.9%. One reason could be that more consumers are getting access to credit cards backed up by major banks and issuers in recent months. More than 171 million customers had access to those cards in the first quarter of this year, the highest number that has had access in 12 years, when about 162.5 million people had access.
Yeah, listen, you go to any college campus, they have a stand outside the campus giving the students credit cards. It's a scheme. It's a scheme. And
can I be honest? These clueless millennials don't realize that when they leave college, they're already going to be more in debt than they already are.
They realize they just assume that mommy and daddy are going to pay for it. And you got to see in New York City, when you go to a grocery store, people buy a Coke and a couple of cupcakes and potato chips, and they put it on their credit card. What are they, fucking idiots?
I am going to admit that I don't have a credit card for that reason.
Listen, one of the wealthiest men in the world.
No, I'm very happy I don't have one. Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
My parents would literally yell at me for having so much money onto it.
Listen, I'm going to give it. I'm going to quote from the horse's mouth. One of the wealthiest men in the world, Warren Buffett. He's worth like $60 billion. He said, if you have a credit card, cut it up.
I agree with him, actually.
Go ahead, continue.
The New York Federal Reserve released a new report today that showed U.S. collective household debt balances totaled $12.73 trillion in March of this year, surpassing the 2008 peak of $12.68 trillion.
Yeah, and don't forget, that's not counting the national debt, which every household is probably on the books for $100,000.
Well, it's not just me; it's every American who has to deal with it.
Yeah. I think tomorrow I'm gonna go buy another computer and an air conditioner and put it on my credit card.
Oh, I have an idea. Let me look for any spare cash, and I'll buy another television.
No cash. Put it on the plastic. It's free. You don't have to pay.
I'm just playing.
I know. It's ridiculous. Listen, I'm not exaggerating. Every time I go to the store here, I live in Brooklyn, a pretty, very, very upper class neighborhood, and every time you go to the pharmacy like CVS or Rite Aid, these morons stand in line. They buy like a bag of potato chips.
Wait a minute, are you in Park Slope?
No, I'm in Carroll Gardens.
That's a so-called fancy area.
Oh yeah, I see celebrities all the time in the streets. Anyway, in the store when you're waiting online, do you see these people? We used to call them yuppies, and they buy in the pharmacy, CVS or Rite Aid. They buy a bag of potato chips, a soda, I don't know, whatever else, like a small item, and no cash. They just swipe their card. It could be debit or it could be credit. Most of the time, it's probably credit. It's ridiculous.
I've seen no, in Queens it's different. I've seen people use credit cards, but in Long Island, I've lately noticed that people are using their smartphones to pay.
Oh yeah, because that's what they want. They want a cashless society. And listen, people, we're all doomed. We're all doomed, Andrew. We're all doomed.
I hope not, because I've told everybody, including my friends, that if there's the apocalypse, we need cash.
Andrew, if there was an apocalypse, people within the first week, I think 50 million people would die.
Oh, I know I wouldn't.
Yeah, well, I hope so. Anyway, you got another story there, Andrew?
All right, we'll change the subject since you love going to Fairway and Red Hook.
I don't. I got to
I'm
trade.
just,
Okay.
I'm just playing with you, Frank. I'm just playing.
Okay, good. Move on to the next story. We're running out of time.
Okay. You can now have a lifetime membership to one of the most exclusive sex parties in the United States for $1 million. On Sunday, Frank, am I reading this correctly? Snookdom?
Yeah, it's a media company.
Okay, I wanted to make sure. The high-end monthly erotic masquerade held in Los Angeles and now here in New York City unveiled its top-tier membership plan. Founder Damian Lawner is accepting only 3 members for his Violet Key benefactors and claims to have sold 2 memberships at $350,000 and $425,000. Now the final one will be for $1 million.
Yeah. This if you see this article, if you ever see the movie Eyes Wide Shut, from a while back with Tom Cruise, this is what these are sex parties. Go ahead, continue.
Oh boy, that's what I'm thinking.
Read it a little faster.
The plan gives you access to all parties as well as 24/7 erotic concierge who can teach you everything you need to know about getting freaky, including foursomes.
Go ahead, keep reading.
An initiation ceremony will be held at the club's New York Fashion Week masquerade on September 9th.
Oh, really?
Oh boy,
Ed, what's the matter? Are you getting excited over the story?
No, I'm not. I'm just thinking that this is a total waste of money. That's what I'm thinking.
Ed, do you think we could buy our memberships with our credit cards?
Oh. And I'm supposing they're gonna teach us how to watch porn 24/7. Am I right?
I guess so. I don't know. Yeah, continue. We're running out of time very quickly.
Can I move on to the next story?
No, I want to hear the rest of the story.
You really do, because
Andrew's getting he's getting excited.
No, I am not.
Andrew, what are you listening to in the background there?
I'm not listening to anything. It's very quiet here.
Are you sure? I hear heavy breathing.
Frank, that's coming from you.
Not me. I can't get my audio to work. Anyway, come on. So what do we get for $1 million, Andrew?
You'll get your bragging rights, and you can get to be me at the Events for Life. Owner told the New York. What post was this? Table special event tickets for yacht parties and cons are upcoming events in Rome and Moscow. Private classes in erotic arts all included. In February, say that again.
Got it. Keep reading.
In February, the Post took a deep dive into these crazy parties, which consist of pretty young things, clad in lingerie and animal ears, canoodling with suited, moneyed men. Some famous guests, oh boy, included Bill Maher and Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yeah, you know who Bill Maher is, right? From the HBO show, the guy who's always
yes, the man who has his office right by Bryant Park. I know who that guy is.
The guy who's a moral, upstanding man who bashed Trump last year about his pussy grabbing. Bill Maher, you see, he goes to these sex parties, and Bill Maher. I know a story about Bill Maher, how he went to a club. I got a friend who works there. He went to a club in New York City, and he asked how much to bang a Chinese girl, and the bouncers punched him and threw him out.
Just be perfectly honest. We do not promote prostitution on this show.
And I could say that. On the air because I know from a good source who worked there. And this guy, he wanted he said, "Hey, how much for a young Chinese girl?" This guy's a pedophile, probably. What do you think goes on at these parties for these? When you could buy them, you could get memberships to the private rooms. God knows what's in those rooms. These people are scum.
Please,
all these people.
Please, I'm not. I would never And I mean never waste my money on something like this.
You see what I was talking about earlier when that ex-Navy SEAL said there's going to be blood and carnage. These guys, these celebrities, they're going to be the first to go.
Ugh, Bill Maher, you are a very bad human being.
He is. He's a pig.
I'm sorry.
He's trash. He wants to find out how much it costs to bang a young Chinese girl. And he attends these sex parties. You got to see, if you ever go and watch Eyes Wide Shut. Have you ever seen that movie, Andrew?
I've heard of it.
Yeah. It's basically Tom Cruise. He tries to sneak into this sex party. It's in a big, huge mansion. You need a password. The richest people are attending these parties. It's all naked women. And God knows there's a hint that one of the girls gets killed as a sacrifice. But go ahead, let's move on to the next story. We're running out of time.
Yes, I've had enough about this.
Yeah, read fast.
Should the Los Angeles Police Department use drones? For more than 3 years, a pair of drones donated to the Los Angeles Police Department was locked away, collecting dust, after a public outcry over the idea of police using the controversial technology.
That's racist.
Again with the social justice warriors. Seattle police saw a similar backlash when they wanted to use the device, grounding their drone program before it even took off. And recently, the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department used of a drone that has been criticized by activists as well as civilian oversight committees who want the agency to stop it.
It's white privilege.
Again with the SJWs. Yesterday, the LAPD again waded into the heated debate, saying the department wanted to test the use of drones in a 1-year pilot program. Drones have been hailed by law enforcement agencies across America as a vulnerable technology that could help find missing hikers or monitor armed suspects without jeopardizing the safety of police officers. But efforts to deploy these unmanned aircraft have frequently drawn fierce criticism from privacy advocates or police critics.
Yeah. Oh, this is another thing. It's racist. They're going to say it's only going to target the African American community. No, it's not. It's going to target criminals.
You mean illegal immigrants?
Oh, yeah. It's going to target. They're going to track illegal immigrants.
That's why we have immigrations and customs enforcement.
Illegal immigrants who are breaking law. Go ahead, quickly.
Okay. Let me move on to the next paragraph. The LAPD saw the resistance yesterday, even before department brass unveiled details of their proposal to the police commission. About 36 activists gathered before the board's morning meeting to announce any use of drones by the department.
Of course. The LAPD is racist.
Wait, here's what they chanted. Drone-free LA, no drones LA.
Yeah, okay. Very good. You could rhyme. Okay, very good. Yeah, okay. Listen, we got a few minutes. Let's get to the next story because this is a story I really want to get into.
Oh, you mean Colin Kaepernick?
Oh yeah. Go ahead.
Colin Kaepernick is still a free agent, and an NFL inside source told the Daily Caller Monday that the 49ers quarterback has no one to blame but himself. Despite the ongoing narrative that Kaepernick's very public political views are preventing any NFL teams from offering a roster spot, the Daily Caller source claims Kaepernick himself has turned down at least one contract in the hopes of stirring up a media frenzy that will eventually lead him to a more lucrative deal for the 27-year-old veteran.
All right, listen, I'm going to explain to you. This is a quarterback from the San Francisco 49ers last year, and when last year when when all that stuff with the media was exploiting those police shootings of the alleged unarmed innocent people. Kaepernick, he decided to make a political stand and kneel during the national anthem on 9/11, no doubt, and a few of his NFL players followed suit. So now there was a backlash against him from people that he was disrespecting the military in America, and now he's trying to make it a race issue. By the way, Kaepernick, he's half white, of course. All these social justice warriors are half white. He's oppressed. The NFL's against him when 85% of the league is non-whites. You know, they're oppressing him. The truth of the matter is he's not that good, and he's trying to extort the NFL owners to give him a job.
And the thing with Kaepernick is that in an NFL uniform, you can't be doing that.
It doesn't matter. He sucks. Listen, it says he doesn't want to make backup money, so he doesn't want to be a backup quarterback. He wants to be a starting quarterback, so he wants money. It's all about money. It's not about oppression, because if it was oppression, quit the league and go play in Canada. But no, he wants the money. He's full of shit, and do you ever see the look on his face? I can't stand the fucker. I don't know why. Whenever I see him, he just looks stupid. I don't know why.
And you know what's even more ridiculous? It's his hair.
Listen, it's okay to have an afro, grow out your afro, but he has an unusually large afro.
Wait, quick reference. Did you watch last season of South Park by any chance?
No, Andrew, we don't have time to talk about
the first episode of the whole season, they bring that up. The whole Kaepernick kneeling thing.
Yeah. And he has to show he has a big afro, so that he stands out, that he's Afrocentric, and he's black.
And one more thing. Do you know that Spike Lee's going to have a rally for him outside of NFL office?
Yeah, of course, because Spike Lee's got to he's another race baiter. He's got to attach himself to this so he could get his another 5 minutes of fame. It's not racism. How is it racism if the league is 85% non-white? Listen, they gave Michael Vick a second chance. You know why? Because Michael Vick has had talent. They give outside of rape, murder, and getting filmed on beating your girlfriend, knocking your girlfriend out of an elevator, the NFL let you play. All right, we're almost out of time, Andrew. Andrew, where could the audience find you on YouTube and Twitter or whatever?
All right, so my YouTube channel is Andy's Randomness. We are on the road to 500 subscribers. Follow me on Twitter at Andy's Randomness. Same name on Instagram. And follow me on Snapchat, Andrew Sports Fan. Frank, where can people find you?
I'll tell them next week. Anyway, we had a good show. We had a lot of news to cover. We'll see you next week, Wednesday, 8 o'clock live. Andrew, you did a good job reading the news, and we'll see you later, all right?
Bye, everyone.